Hello there, welcome. My name is Allison. I'm the Caffeinated Creative. I love everything art, planners, journals, and all the things between. Today, I'm actually working on a fun project that I'm going to share with you each day this week, in which I am trying to do a monochrome spread of the rainbow. So red, orange, yellow, green, blue. I'm skipping indigo, violet, and then black and white. I was completely inspired by Heart Musings with Crystal, I believe. I'll put her YouTube up here so you can see it, but she did it. I was super inspired. I love her channel. You should definitely go check her out after you watch this. I'm just kidding. But yeah, so this is Monday, the 1st of March, and it begins my rainbow spread challenge of red, which red is definitely not my favorite color for sure. It's just not. I don't hate it or anything. I don't think I hate any colors, but red, it's just not like a color that I gravitate towards. But that's okay. So I grabbed a bunch of random ephemera and things like that, and then put some watercolor with my little DIY dabbers on the page, dried that off, and then took the top of this Kohl's receipt and glued it down. Because this day, this Monday, the 1st of March, my family and I went to Kohl's. For those of you guys who don't know what Kohl's is, it's kind of just a middle of the road department store. They have a lot of random stuff. They always have like deals where they mark up the goods and then tell you you're getting a lot off, but do you really wind up ahead in the end? Who knows? But the other thing that Kohl's does is they allow for Amazon returns. So that's how they got us, is I needed to return something. I walked into the store with my daughter and my husband, and we walked out with things we did not need. And one such thing was an Animal Crossing t-shirt for my daughter. So that's why you see that little Animal Crossing character that's a little bit pink. Because, again, monochrome spread, she was the only one that matched. Then those two printables, the cat and the little fairy girl, are so exciting because it's the beginning of the month, and I actually journal about this a little bit later, but I love the beginning of the month because that is when all my Patreons, my patrons, am I a patron? I don't know. The people who I subscribe to on Patreon drop their collage sheets. It's just so fun. It's like getting presents every month that you get to print off, in my opinion, because I love them. So the cat and the fairy girl are from February and June. Those are her collage sheets from this month, March. And yeah, so that's always like very exciting. I love looking and seeing like what of the collage sheets, I like, how am I going to use them? I love printing them. Is my printer going to work? It's all very exciting. Oh man. And then that door sticker that I put down is because along with the Animal Crossing t-shirt that we purchased, I also bought a doormat, which, I mean, maybe this is just too much detail and you're like, why are you telling us about this doormat that you purchased? But it's completely random. It's not even my normal style. When I showed it to my husband, he's like, you like that? And I'm like, I think so. But yeah, do you guys ever do that? Do you buy stuff and you get it home, or even while you're buying it, you're like, I'm either going to love this or hate it, and then you still aren't sure? Because this is like a couple days later and I'm still not sure. Anyways, I am glad we have the doormat because we really needed it. The Monday is from my own lettering. And then the number 1, I believe, is from PocketJournalPam, the heart. And then I grabbed some fluid acrylic paint because now we're on to orange because I'm doing the rainbow. Oh yeah. Roy G. Biv. Minus indigo. Orange is next. So I grabbed some orange fluid acrylic and took a palette knife thing, palette spreader. It's not really a knife. Is it a knife? Anyway, took one of those palette tools and spread it around because I didn't want the paint effect. I feel like I've been going to that quite a bit, and then like I didn't want it to feel like watercolor. I wanted it to feel different, just try something new. And so that's where you got all the splotches. Then I found, again, printables from the past, the Finally lettering, which was from Courtney Diaz, and cut that out to read Finally. and then A from stickers, and then Win, which was a magazine piece of ephemera I cut out of a magazine, because on this day, this is a huge day, a huge accomplishment for me, where I finally have a win. You may have heard in previous videos, I am working on a dissertation, and for those of you who don't know, which I did not know before I went through this process, generally you go through coursework, then you have to do a comp exam, a comprehensive exam, where you are showing all the things you learned and kind of proving to your school that you are qualified to do research. And then after the comp exam, you write the first 3 chapters of your dissertation, which is basically introduction, a review of all the literature about your topic, and then the methodology that you plan to use. And then after you do that, you have to do a proposal hearing, which is where you sit in front of your committee, which is usually at least 4 people, and you basically have to defend what you want to do, what you want, what data you want to collect, how you're going to go about, getting this new knowledge, and they have to approve it. And so it's been a long process for me to get this proposal date together, because everybody kind of has to be ready. It's sort of like there's a lot of prep work. It's not like they've never seen it before when the hearing happens. And I finally have a proposal date. So you guys, I am so excited. You have no idea. I feel like it's just like, okay, this is actually something that I'm going to do. So that's why I wrote finally a win, because this feels like a massive win. And trust, on March 30th at about noon Central Time, if all goes as planned, I will be one happy lady. And again, there's so much more left for me to do. I'm not like done by any means, but this is a huge hurdle. So anyway, I journaled about that and how I'm like super excited about finally having a date and how it's like actually happening. And then the journaling that I'm underlining right here is about how excited I get for collage sheets that come out at the beginning of the month as a Patreon subscriber. Underneath the Kohl's receipt, I journaled about my daughter's t-shirt, and then by the door, I journaled about my random doormat. And then I grab a stamp because I just wanted the page to have a little bit more. And this little hand stamp, I used a red ink, archival ink, to stamp it down. And then I wrote, "High five for getting through yet another crazy Monday." I then write "Just Another Manic Monday," which is both a nod to a fabulous song by the Bangles from the 80s and also how this Monday felt, because it was a manic Monday for sure. It just feels like time is speeding by so fast, and there's never quite enough hours in the day. Who can relate? Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this session. I hope you're doing really, really well. You get some time to be creative, and I'll see you in the next one.